The towns on the southern Lebanese border with Israel are mostly deserted. There's a constant daily barrage of attacks and counterattacks, making them unlivable. And our inquiries show the cross-border strikes are increasingly hitting civilians and journalists.
This one here. It's up there, the smoke's up there on the left. There's a hit, that's a hit.
Even those trying to escape aren't safe. 3 sisters were incinerated in this vehicle after an Israeli strike, killed along with their grandmother. They just packed up their belongings to move to Beirut. Their mother was pulled out alive by their uncle.
She didn't say help me or rescue me. She just said, I want my kids. Where are my kids? Help me get them out of the car.
As we film, an Israeli drone is constantly overhead monitoring us, just like it was when the family were packing up. Samir took us on the route they'd taken to leave. I was seeing all this bombing along the way, he told us. They stopped at a corner shop to pick up snacks for the journey. They were excited, the owner said, and showed us images they'd captured on the shop's security cameras. The CCTV shows Huda, the mother of the girls, and her youngest, 10-year-old Liane, walking back towards the car. Their uncle Samir emerges from the right to help them. He was in another car in front and had already rounded the corner when the strike happened, blowing the car off the road and into the field. Witnesses filmed how the vehicle quickly caught fire. Only the girl's mother was pulled out alive. Israeli military drone footage released a day later shows a car being hit. Sky News has geolocated it to the same road. The IDF told us after multiple exchanges that they'd hit what they called a suspicious vehicle, with several terrorists inside. But they're now investigating whether some uninvolved civilians were also inside. Human rights investigators say that's a war crime, and they want Israel's allies to push for justice.
Israel in several occasions has failed to conduct credible investigations and hold individuals accountable for war crimes or other violations that were committed, and so we believe that Israel's allies, including the U.S., the UK, and others, should press for accountability on this apparent war crime.
Samir, who's a journalist, said he told the children to play around the car before setting off, so the Israeli drone above could see the vehicle contained youngsters. He's in no doubt they were hit by Israel, and deliberately.
Now they're clearly targeting babies and children, and we want the support of the Europeans, so these criminals are brought to justice.
Journalists and their families aren't only being targeted in Gaza, but Lebanon too. Reuters journalist Issam Abdallah was killed and 6 colleagues with him hurt, some with life-changing injuries, but alive with vital testimony. Issam on the left took selfies with fellow cameraman Eli Brakia. In all the pictures taken, the group were all marked as media and in a position where they could clearly be seen for miles around. The aftermath show the media vehicles burning, which had also been marked as press. There were 2 strikes within 40 seconds. The first killed Issam immediately. The second nearly killed the others as they scrambled to help.
The location where the journalists were standing in Al-Mashab was explicitly targeted, not by 1, but by 2 strikes, 37 to 38 seconds apart, that come from the east, from the direction of the Israeli border.
It's all my left side, searching the fragments.
Fellow cameraman Eli somehow survived, though he'll need reconstructive surgery. Like the Lebanese army, the Lebanese Prime Minister and Reporters Without Borders, he says they were targeted by Israel.
There's international laws that protect us. And we are not a bunch of kids. We are professionals. We know what we do. We know what to wear, where to go, how to deal, how to work. This is our work. This is our profession. Of course, there is a price you have to pay. We are paying our share, but there is responsibility about this. And the responsibility about this, I'm telling you, the law must take, there is the international laws that should protect us.
It was the second time in a few weeks his team had been hit. Here another group of journalists were also targeted whilst filming along the border in Yarun. Every deliberate attack on civilian and journalist is a war crime, and again here there was a second strike. Now there's a growing clamour that each of these attacks should be thoroughly investigated. Alex Crawford, Sky News in southern Lebanon.